and welcome to WolfPack Media. Today we're doing another episode of WolfPack React. So let's get started with this video here. CNN poll, voters' views of Democrats in Congress, the lowest ever approval ratings on record. So I've been hearing a lot of chatter about how there's a lot of people that aren't very happy with Trump right now on the Republican side, and people are regretting their vote. Well, let's not just take the media's word for it, but let's look at the facts and let's see what truly is going on here.
I'm a big fan of the oldies, and when it comes to the feelings that Americans, voters at large, and Democrats have, I can't help but think of Chubby Checker. Why is that? Because the question is, how low can you go? Voters' views of Democrats in Congress, the lowest ever approval ratings on record per Quinnipiac University. Look at this. Approve, 21% among all voters. Look at the disapprove level. Holy Toledo, 68%.
I mean, that's a pretty staggering number when you take a look at it, but it's not at all surprising. And I mean, this guy's acting surprised that the number is that high for their disapproval rating. I mean, you guys seen the State of the Union address. You've seen how disrespectful that the Democrats were being. I mean, this shouldn't surprise anybody. And they lost this election, and they lost it in a very, very big way, whether they want to admit it or not. And now they're doubling down on the same things that lost them the election in the first place. These people, they only pander to a small base that they have left. It's like they don't think about the average American citizen, right? I mean, they're so wrapped up and worried about losing policies like women in men's sports and men able to go in women's bathrooms in schools, and not allowing parents to have control on whether their child is going to question their gender and hiding it from parents. And with immigration, they're against immigration. They're against deporting people that are here illegally. That's another losing policy. And these people are doubling down on it, and you see the results right here. Like, this is not at all surprising. To anybody who pays attention and knows what's going on, at least, it's not surprising.
Of all voters disapprove of how Democrats are doing in Congress. Now, you might think that is low, and this is the lowest number on your screen here, down at 21%. But I want to bring you over here to how Democratic voters feel, because this is truly unbelievable. Amongst their own party, how do Democratic representatives, senators, how are they viewed? Get this, the plurality disapprove at 49%. More Democrats disapprove of the job that their party is doing in Congress than approve. Get this, only 40% approve. These are truly horrific numbers. They're in the trash bin of history. That is how low these approval ratings are. When you can't even get...
Yeah, not surprising, even within their own party. I mean, view of Democrat Party, 29%. And they're trying to push the narrative that Trump is the one with the low approval rating. It's entirely the opposite of the truth. They're gaslighting the American people, like literally. And then look at this video on whether they think this...
First of all, the mood...
This is going to tell us, what do the American people think about what Trump is doing? Let's take a look here.
Of the country, this really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44%, you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004. So a lot of this is Republicans, but independents.
The highest since 2004 for the country going in the right direction. That's going to tell you that the American people wanted a mandate for change. And you see all of these mainstream media outlets trying to peddle the narrative that, no, it wasn't, that Trump didn't win by that much. It wasn't enough to mandate big change. But Trump is making big changes, and you see the numbers. The numbers don't lie, right? And let's dig in. Why are the Democrats' numbers so low compared to what they used to be? Well, let's look at what Democrats thought back in 2008 when they had good approval ratings. Let's see what they thought.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
Wait, no questions asked. They're gone. That kind of sounds like Tom Homan now, doesn't it, guys? Are you starting to see that you're being lied to and you're being manipulated? They are manipulating and lying and gaslighting the American people.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Try to learn English. Wow. But that's a controversial one, right? So wait, they have to pay stiff fines if they came here illegally? So, Hillary, are you saying that we shouldn't be funding them and letting them live in 5-star hotels? You're saying that FEMA shouldn't be funding that? Actually, they should be paying fines and learn how to speak English, otherwise they're deported? Wow, that kind of sounds similar to what the conservatives believe. And back then, they had good approval ratings. Huh. Interesting, guys. Now, here's another story. So, I don't know if you guys have probably heard, but Trump was deporting these illegal gang members to Venezuela. Dangerous gang members. There's no reason they should be here in the United States, and sending them to be imprisoned in Venezuela. Now, this judge, James E. Boasberg, Chief Judge of U.S. District Court for D.C., he apparently rescinded Trump's order and said that Trump legally can't deport these people, right? Now, let's see what this lady here, I forgot, what's her name again? Something Crockett. Let's just watch this video and what she thinks about
Undocumented Venezuela.
Deporting Venezuela gang members. Let's see. Is it a good thing to deport Venezuela gang members? That's a pretty simple thing, yes or no, right? But let's watch how she tries to articulate this. Or should I say, not be able to articulate what she's talking about and make completely no sense, and tries to completely fabricate what is actually taking place.
Venezuelans that the administration say are dangerous individuals with ties to the gang Tren de Aragua. That gang is obviously associated with a lot of crime, human trafficking, drug dealing, theft, shootings, including in your state of Texas, right outside of your congressional district. Do you agree with this? And if not, what's your issue with the U.S. using any tool at its disposal to remove undocumented, violent people from this country?
Well, my argument is that we already have tools that are available to remove undocumented, violent people.
Oh, do we? Oh, do we? Did we use these tools the last 4 years? Huh. If we did, why are they here in the first place? Interesting. Jasmine Crockett, representative in Texas. This lady needs to be voted out. What a disgrace.
From our country. And so the idea that you want to go into a zombie law, this is kind of like what we saw in Arizona when they decided to revive a zombie law around abortion. It is the fact that we can't trust this administration to actually use a scalpel, but instead they love to use a butcher knife on things.
Yeah, I would like them to use a butcher knife when it comes to gang members. I want them all gone. No discretion. If there's a gang member here illegally, what discretion do you have to use? They get the hell out of here. And most of the American people would agree with that. And that's why that the Democrat Party has the lowest approval numbers pretty much ever, is because idiots like this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be truthful. This person is an absolute moron. Absolute moron. And people like this that serve in Congress are why many people get killed. Many innocent women and children get trafficked and killed. Thousands and thousands. People like this, who don't know what they're talking about, and they only say certain things or do certain things because they're pandering to a small base that they have. It's disgusting.
And so giving them this wide latitude to just kind of go across and just claim that anybody is anything is wrong. And so
if they're Venezuela gang members, yes, they need to be deported immediately. They're dangerous people. I can't even listen to it. I can't even take it seriously. I can't listen to it anymore. I thought this was funny here. I've never seen a party work so hard to remove a president, but not the drug dealers, child traffickers, or illegal immigrants. Kind of crazy, right? They hate this country, guys. At the end of the day, people like this, they hate this country. They want to destroy this country. That's the point where I'm at. I think these people just want to destroy this country. Everything that they do is indicative of that. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, do you think that Trump did anything wrong by deporting these violent criminals and sending them back to where they came from? And I love this. So, Trump administration defies judge's orders to block Tren de Aragua deportation flights to El Salvador. Now it's headed to the Supreme Court. So he defied them and they went back to Venezuela, where they belong, in prison. So that's what I want in my president, for sure. So apparently this guy was an Obama appointee. Which isn't really surprising, even though Obama was also big on deportations too. But we just forget about that, right? Oh, we already watched that one about the direction of the country and the approval ratings. And now, guys, since everybody's worried about the tariffs, everybody's saying that Trump's going to crash the economy, let's actually listen to the statistics and actually know what's really going on here.
Expecting up 0.3, up 0, goose egg, unched. Boy, that is progress. We haven't had a number that low. Well, we equaled it in July.
Progress.
Of last year when we had another 0. To find a lower number, you're back to October of 23 at minus 0.4. Strip out the all-important food and energy. Down 1/10. Down 1/10. That's 0.4 lower than expectations. Down 1/10 also equals.
So energy prices are going down, inflation's going down.
July of last year. Find a lower number, you're going back to COVID times, April of 2020.
What's the common theme here? Who was president in 2020? Donald Trump, the last time we seen that low of numbers. Now, guys, keep in mind that Trump has only been in for, less than 3 months? And we're already starting to see impact. Yeah, the markets are kind of getting a little sketched out right now. With the tariffs, there's going to be some short-term pain. But at the end of the day, Trump is looking towards the long term. Right now, yes, the price is going to be passed on the consumers, and you're going to have some market sentiment that is not very good, and the markets are going to dump a little bit because of the tariffs. But in the long term, it's going to cause these companies that are overseas right now to reconsider that. And Trump's also at the same time saying, hey, if you invest your company here in the United States over X amount of dollars, you're going to get massive tax breaks. We're going to cut regulations for you too. So they're going to be incentivized to come back to the United States and create energy here in the United States and bring back manufacturing jobs to the United States. It's a long-term thing. We don't want all our companies overseas, and we don't want to lose. The only thing that's going to cause is our unemployment number to go up, and then in turn, it's going to cause inflation to go up. So what Trump is trying to do here is incentivizing countries to come back and do business in the United States. When taxes are super high, and they can operate and run their businesses and companies overseas where there's not as much regulations, there's not as much taxes. What company in their right mind is not going to go do that? What Trump is saying, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to tariff the exports that come back in the United States. So you're going to have to pay that tariff, and it is going to be passed on the consumer. But what is that going? They're not going to be able to compete when that happens. When they raise their prices, they can't compete with American companies. So what is that company going to have to do? They're not going to want to pay that export, and they're not going to be able to compete with the prices here in the United States. So they're going to have to come to the United States. And then Trump's going to cut red tape and regulations. He's going to cut taxes so they can operate here, create jobs in the United States, and sell and create their product here in the United States. Like, guys, this is pretty simple. This is not hard to wrap your mind around. Like, I'm just a dumb drywaller, but even I know that. There's going to be some short-term pain, yeah, for sure. But in the long term, if you don't understand what Trump is doing, then I think you have to have your head examined. Don't you care about the future? You only care about now? Do you not care about the future of your children and your children's children? No, because everybody is just all about the now. Me, me, me. Now, now, now. But they don't have any foresight, and they don't have any care in the world for how their children do, or their grandchildren. That's something I care about. And if we have to go through some short-term pain to thrive like we've never thrived before in the future, I'm 100% okay with that. And that's why I'm bringing you guys the facts. And I'm telling you guys, I'm a straight shooter telling you guys what's actually going on and what's not. Now I'm going to end it off with this video, guys.
He said all along, all over the country, everywhere I went, he could be the most consequential president of the modern era, maybe one of the most in the history of the country. And I think that is already being demonstrated. That he has done more in the first 60 to 70 days of this administration than most presidents accomplished in 4 years or 8 years. And we're just getting started. You're going to see dramatic transformational change because that's what the country needs to keep going. And we're excited to be a part of that, Mark. Just buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be a wild ride, but a great one for the country. He said all along, all over the...
Very well said by Mike Johnson. Buckle up, guys. It's going to be a wild ride. In the comments, let me know what you guys think. Do you disapprove or do you approve of what Trump's been doing in his first 90 days? Leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down whether you approve or disapprove. If you guys liked the video, slap a like on the video. It would mean a lot to us. And if you want to join the pack, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys on the next episode of WolfPack React.